It was about vaccinations because I read that
California.
in Silver Lake District and some of the places in Brooklyn where the hipsters go, their vaccinations are way down, and whooping cough.
Whooping cough is up, definitely.
I wonder if there's any correlation there.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
Soon they're going to get the vapors and dropsy and the bloody flux.
It's a rhetorical
no
question.
kidding.
So I wanted to know, as a parent, how you felt about that, where you and Nikki stand on vaccinations.
We do all vaccinations. I mean, we take the least aggressive approach, which is that like we try and spread them out as long as the doctor says is okay. You know, like we pushed like the hepatitis C a little bit because we're not in a high risk group for that, but no, we do all vaccinations because I remember an interview that we did with a guy in 2004, came on the program, and we were talking about vaccinations and the supposed tie to autism. Now, as far as I know, all of the research that had pointed to that was recanted, particularly I think it was in the British Lancet. The guy at the time said, look, they have taken out the Marisol. I don't know if it was like in 2002 or 2003. And he said, in 3 years' time, if this does not impact the autism rate, we will know that this was not, that it was not causing autism. And there was no change in autism rates. Now, I believe that all the statistics show that, and that the medical profession is quite clear. And I've gone to doctors who are sort of, they're not holistic. You know, they practice both, traditional medicine, but they're also very,
Open.
Not just open, but, sort of on both ends of that spectrum. And they all say, look, we can take a less aggressive approach. We don't have to give them 4 shots, at 2 months old or whatever it is. But the evidence is that on an individual level, that it is far more important and necessary to vaccinate. And from a public policy standpoint, yes, are there people who have reactions to vaccines? Of course. But far more people die from the flu than react to the flu vaccine. And so we vaccinate. Are we nervous about it? Of course. But you know what? I'm nervous when I put the kid on a scooter, too. And that's not as important.
I know. I saw how he hit his head on the wall.
But
now he's wearing a helmet.
But we're nervous about everything. When you have a kid, you're nervous about everything. But at the same time, look, science is science. And now, with that said, I do a weekend show with Bobby Kennedy, who is convinced that vaccines are problematic. I think he still does that. We don't talk about it anymore. He knows that it is a position that alienates him from people. He has his reasons. I don't agree with them. But so there are some people that I have respect for that believe this. But I as far as I'm concerned, the science is pretty clear on this, and so I think it's very problematic that. And
does your school practice policy if they don't allow the children who haven't been vaccinated?
I believe you cannot get into a public school without showing that you have that you haven't had your vaccinations. I believe that's the case, and thank goodness. When we lived upstate, there was a lot of people up there, very anti-vaccination, also very anti-antibiotics, and so it was a little bit hairy, because this is how these things like whooping cough get started up again. And, you're living in New York City in particular, too. It's not, you can't isolate the kid.
Right.
And so I think it's very problematic. And I think it's a lot of I think that people should be skeptical of pharmaceutical companies. I wouldn't put it past them to put out a product they know is garbage.
Right.
But it's not like these things aren't studied,
Right.
by disinterested parties.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my feeling.